What is up, guys? So this is going to be a kind of a quick lesson. This is on one of my favorite topics, and that's Motown, the music of Motown, the drumming of Motown. This is Motown week in the live lessons. We're picking apart a ton of Motown songs and going, what makes that Motown? Why is that Motown? What does this drum fill sound like? What are the grooves they played? Just digging into the history of it. So many of my students so many times come to me and they go, why do I need to learn this stuff? Why do I have to learn this? Why do I have to learn that? And I go, because the music you listen to would not be possible. None of the rap, none of the current rock, none of the dub, none of your trance, none of your, drum and bass, none of that stuff would be possible without these guys that laid the foundation. So two drummers we really need to look at are Benny Benjamin and Richard Allen, or Richard Pistol Allen. These are the two drummers that were there during the Motown genre that played the majority of their songs. Before we launch into the lesson, let's get the question of the lesson. This lesson is on a Motown drum fill. So I want to know, what is your favorite drum fill from any song? Post it below, kind of tell us the song, what artist it was, so that we can all go check that out and also learn those. This will just help with the whole history thing, with us all kind of trying to learn from each other. Benny Benjamin, or Benny Papazita Benjamin was his nickname, and then Richard Pistol Allen played on a ton of the Motown hits. They were part of the group called the Funk Brothers. The Funk Brothers played the majority of Motown's hits. This group of musicians, which they ran the studio 24 hours a day, Motown did. So this group of musicians they hired actually had more number one hits than Elvis Presley, the Rolling Stones, and the Beatles combined. These guys knew what they were doing, but they were also groundbreaking. This was the first time these grooves and these fills had been played. So the one thing I want to talk about today is one fill that you will hear. If you turn on a Motown Greatest Hits, you'll hear it on almost every song, okay? It starts on 3, and it's a very simple fill, and there's about 6 or 7 variations that they play of it. I'm just going to go through one of it today. So it's going to be 3E and a 4, and then an and on the kick. Okay, and the variation we're going to do today is actually going to be the first note on the high tom, 3/16 on the snare, an 8th note on the snare, and then the kick drum. So just like this. Now that's not that hard. Let's put some accents in there. Of course, accent the tom hit, but we're going to accent, it's going to go 3E and we'll accent the downbeat of the 4, and then the kick comes after that. Now that we got that was a mixture of actually that and there. I didn't say either word successfully. Good job, lesson fail. Ooh, this one's going in the dumpster. So instead, let's take, and we're gonna in the middle of those 16th notes, instead of playing 16th notes, we're gonna turn that into a double stroke roll, or we're gonna turn it into 32nd notes. So we'll play here, 3, double stroke, a 4. So real slow. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now this is just one variation of that drum fill. You can hear this on the intro to My Girl. There's a variation of it. The intro to This Old Heart of Mine by the Isley Brothers, I think it was, and I'll Be Doggone. You can hear it on the intro to that, and I could name off song after song after song that you hear this drum fill in. The one thing you don't want to do is when you go into the groove, there's no crash cymbals. On the majority of these songs, you will never hear a crash cymbal. Why? Because they recorded all in the same room. So the drummer knew if I hit that crash cymbal, it's bleeding into that vocal mic. So he made his decisions based on that. That's why they had these short drum fills that wouldn't get in the way of what was going on around them, because they had to play kind of underneath what was going on around, because everybody tracked it once. So there's no crash cymbal, and there's usually not an open hi-hat. He just goes straight into the groove. So this is what it would sound like. right there, if you're going to play Motown, you have to know that drum fill. It is a very 100% top of the list. You have to play that drum fill because someone's to ask you to play in the style of Motown. You go, well, how do I do that? It's all these little things that they did that makes it the style of Motown. That's what's so cool. It's that little drum fill. You do 1, 2, 3, 4, doom. That's one of their fills. These very simple signature licks that they played, that Benny Benjamin and Richard Allen played, that's what made it Motown. That's what made that sound, along with the tuning of the drums. Of course, all the other musicians, but there are several significant things that you can pick out that they did. Again, don't forget, put your favorite drum fill down below, artist and the name of the song, so we can all talk about it and learn from it. And if you want to go deeper into this subject, or you want to take your drumming to the next level by any means, please take advantage of the 7-day live streaming free account that I've got. You can just open it up. If you like it, stay on. If you don't, cancel at any time within that 7 days. You don't lose a thing. If not, I'll see you here on YouTube.